rappeler le système, hein, parce qu'il y en a qui demandent dans le chat. Là, on est sur les 5e et 6e de la soirée, donc quand les joueurs vont choke. Oh là là, mais il y a déjà un choke, mais c'est terrible! Il y a déjà quelqu'un qui vient de tomber dans le vide. Mais attends, mais il y a 2 personnes. Donc déjà, ouais, déjà ça n'a même pas commencé. Premier virage. Non, mais c'était sûr en fait. C'était sûr.
Mais on dépasse Carl Junior en tout cas. Carl qui va être derrière, on le connaît. C'est une teigne, il veut jamais lâcher. On passe devant Evon, mais vas-y, ça va se jouer à rien. Les Dodan, c'est là qu'il faut risquer. Mais est-ce que c'est rentable? L'avant-dernière, c'est bon. Oh. Ça a fait un espèce de truc bizarre, ok, c'est bon. Allez, oui. Troisième. Oui, Brian. Oh putain.
Behind, but with a risk he can maybe snipe that 100 euro, but it is Carl Jr. who's so far ahead here and cannot get denied. So Carl Jr. is winning a sheer pack, however, with 94 points in this step. That is a very good performance from Pack.
Il va falloir faire quelque chose dans l'identité là pour reprendre la 8ème place. On a vu que l'identité posait pas forcément énormément de problèmes aux joueurs, surtout qu'on n'aura pas ce dernier saut, le finish est avant ce dernier saut. Ah, cependant, Riolu n'a pas beaucoup de speed, Riolu n'a pas du tout de speed. Du coup, je crois qu'Afi est 8ème. Oui, Afi est 8ème, il va falloir rester devant Meda. La sortie est bien, oui, c'est bon, ça va passer pour Afi. Afi.
It's B9, this could be so close. Jump number 2. Oh, Scrappy slowing down. Come on, Carl Whelan ahead of Pack. Riolu P7, Kappa P8. It's done! He's done it! Yes! And fastest lap to boot! 108.912, and he keeps his points. He gets the flag, and this time he'll get to keep it.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to yet another, the last one of the season, step number 6 it is. I'm your host again, Luckerstobe, and I will be joined by Marius just in a minute. Voice crack intensifies here, but I think this will be a pretty interesting step. I mean, we have a lot on the line, we have a lot of things to focus on today, and I want to go through them one by one just before the round starts here, before the Trackmania Grand League starts. But today we're gonna start 5 minutes earlier actually, which is pretty interesting, since I'm not sure why and why we should do that. But that's just the case. But it is the last step of Season 3 already. So I've covered 3 seasons for MnM, and I want to say thank you again for picking me as a caster. I had a lot of fun. I had a very good time, especially with Marius and also with Speedy, who joined me on Season 2 and also on Season 1. So that was very cool. And I think, yeah, a lot of things will be decided today. I mean, we had not the most amount of point loss on the last step compared to other steps. We had Scrappy losing his points, 31 points. And then there was also Gwen losing 64 points. So yeah, I mean, there was some sort of point loss. And also I think someone lost 20 plus points. And also on map 5 there were some points that were lost. But in general, yeah, Afid was. And in general, it wasn't really that much. But I mean, still, things can happen and things will happen. As we can see, the standings are so close, and bear in mind the top 8 will qualify to the playoffs, and the other players below that will actually, yeah, they will qualify, but the thing is that they gonna how you say that, they are still not certain, because only 2 of them will qualify, and the bottom 4 will actually, yeah, be in danger of being demoted. And as we see big names there like Papu, Riolu, Evon and Link. I mean, Evon played very good in the Combine, but the Combine has been changed. And yeah, I'm just seeing how things go, because I mean, Carl Jr. and Pack look unstoppable, and on the other hand, a lot of people are struggling of keeping up with the pace. Also, a player like Afi is not certainly safe. If, let's say, 3 or 4 people or 5 people get a good step, Afi could potentially get yeah, demoted here into the bottom 8. But I think this season really shows us that the point system is not really working out that well, and that's why it will get changed eventually. So let's take a look here. I mean, I talked a lot about that, but of course what I'm focusing on here is the battle for 8th. That's Spam, Kappa, or maybe Tween, or also Scrappy, who lost 31 points last step, can maybe make it, but I think Scrappy's not feeling so good. So Scrappy, just from my side, get well soon, man. and hopefully everything will be good. So it's just sad to see that some things like that happen, but hey, I think he can do it. And hello to all of the new people here into the Twitch chat. Nice that you're all here. And let's take a look onto the maps, because map order has of course changed again. We have the opening maps, Whoops and Reversing, which we have of course seen the first time in step number 4. So the maps are by Ubisoft, Nadeo and Thompson. So Reversing of course with an interesting backwards identity, and then Whoops, a map that Pack suited very well. So I can see him like practicing a lot on those tracks and performing very well on them. So I think that that he can still make it again on the track Whoops. Of course, those are tracks of the opening phase, so that means that people will not come into contact with point loss here. So that's the last time we're gonna see that format. I'm actually a little bit happy about that, but whatever. So second one. So now we have a twist in that. We have the semi-final maps, Arctic Split and Whirlpool, which are built by Poupette and by Firestorm. So Firestorm, a very known mapper, and Poupette, one of the mapper who just joined up into the actual mapping for Trackmania. So that's really cool that he got hired from Ubisoft Nadeo to build maps. So that's really cool. Arctic Split, of course, being a map that was map 6 beforehand, and Whirlpool was map 5. So they swapped the role here, and people will lose 50% of their points if they finish in the bottom 8 position. So then the point loss will strike again. And for the last maps, the new maps for this time around, we have Ski Jump and Slow-Mo Forest. So Ski Jump being a rather easy map, I would say, and Slow-Mo Forest, yeah, it can go either way, but those identities are definitely interesting. And I think those are the maps that are rather easy. So Ski Jump, of course, so I will see close battles and a lot of dreams that will be crushed today. But I was coming up with those bets here. Just gonna show them to you here. So I think that Cole Jr. is gonna win because he has 6 WRs. Or I think he has the most WRs on those 6 lappers. If I recall it correctly, maybe I didn't check correctly, but I think that he can win also with his confidence. Then there's Pack on P2 and Gwen on P3. So I'm gonna go for the big boys. But Gwen looked so strong on step 4 and 5. That's why I think that Gwen is gonna take it. But hey, before we're gonna go here into the actual presentation of the other things, I'm gonna go and do the cheer and quiz presentation. So you can hear Twitch chat, but here there is the quiz. So let's play the quiz and let's go. Who won TMGL step 5? Who was that? It was Pack. Kaujina did his worst result of the season. How many points did he score? 29? No, 40. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I misclicked. Who's the other player who finished all maps in the top 8? Probably Pack. Yeah. How many different maps winners were there in step 5? I think there were 4 or 5. Okay, 4. Who are the 2 players who lost points for the first time on map 5 and 6? It was definitely Afi. And I think, well, did Aurel lose points? It was definitely Afi. It was not Moda and Spam. Then it's Afi and Aurel. Who are the 2 players who climbed into the overall top 8 after the step 5? It was Massa and also Bren. Yeah, Massa and Bren. Javolo. Okay. Who are the 2 players who are out now of the top 8? We had Spam. And also Tween. Yeah. Because it was Scrappy who wasn't in the top 8 at all. Okay. How many points separate Master 7th and Tween 11th from the overall ranking? 16. Okay. Can you name 2 new maps for... I just presented them. So we have 2 new maps played into step 5. Wait. That's... Huh? In this... I mean, then it's Whirlpool and Arctic Split. So they didn't rename that. Wow, that was big. Okay, so we got 90% correct, but the second to last question was a bit weird. As we can see here, I got 9 out of 10, so that's cool. And you can also cheer for your favorite player. Of course, you can go for pack. Here in this case, you just have to log in, and then you can see that you can cheer for him. So you can see I have to log in and stuff. So you're just gonna do it with either Twitch. You can see here, and then you get like forwarded and stuff. Why do I? No, wait. That's actually the Uplay thingy. So I just do this and log in. Boom. So that's cool. So verify now. Ask me later. Okay. And yeah, there we go. Now I can cheer towards the players here. Of course, I would go for pack, but you can only do it between 1955 and 21. But yeah, I just wanted to let you make you aware of that. Okay, so that's how it is. And yes, I got a new haircut. True that, because a friend of mine cut me the hair. That is really cool. And yeah, I mean, without further ado, I mean, we can take a look onto the ranking again, because I think that's the most important thing here to take into consideration. I mean, Tween is not that far behind from 6 indeed. It's Bren who got into the top 6, and also Muda, who's still on 5th position, but it's all a back and forth here. It could also be like a player like, let's say, Papu or Rio, who still make it. I mean, they both really suffered from severe point loss. But whatever. I mean, things of course can happen, and it will eventually happen. So in this particular format, it will be harder and harder, just to say it like that. And I mean, my prediction was pretty boring, I would say, with saying that Carl Jr. wins it over Pack and then Gwen. But I think behind that, we're gonna see big pointers. And yeah, true that Carl Jr. and Peck don't really even have to drive. I mean, they have 272 points and 313 points. That is just absolutely crazy to think about. That's really crazy to think about. And yeah, what can I also do? Okay, Marius is still doing Cup of the Day, so just gonna wait for that. There will be another clash time again, or race in between. I think this is between 2 and 3 again. But other than that, I have discussed everything. It's just interesting to see the score being like so weird. I think we've never had that in any season. And I'm looking for what the new point system will be, because it will still be possible. Yes, theoretically, if Link gets a good step, he can still make it. If he gets 100 plus points, he will surely make it. Because I think that one of those players here from either Afi, Muda, Bren, Masa, Gwen will not get more than 25 points. So it's possible. Everything is open, but they need a good step, and they need to get first, second, or third. A lot of times, favorably, of course, the first position. So that's what I thought of. And also, thank you, Simba, for the resub. You got debated there, and already 3 months, so that's cool. So thank you, and yeah, welcome to the stream. I mean, there are a lot of good players who actually have to make it. It was Afi playing super conservatively. He lost, guys, bear that in mind. He was lost for the first time last step points on map number 6. I mean, it will be all about that. So Aurel and Afi are like batting out for the 3rd position, I think, and also Muda. Maybe Bren even as well. But Masa, Gwen, Spam, and Kappa, and as well as Tween, look at them. They are like 16 points apart. And this will be all decided in the ending. That's just so cool to see. And yeah, for me, it's impossible to call that. Scrappy is not in a good mental state, unfortunately. So hopefully he's getting well soon. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. It will be an interesting step again. But of course, this time it's the last step. Starts at 8 PM. No, today it starts 5 minutes earlier. We start at 7:55. So yeah. And yeah, I mean, there will be the combine in 2 weeks' time, so I will also cover that. But I'm gonna go into the explanation when the time comes and stuff. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And that will be also an interesting thing, because 2 players from the Open Grand League can promote into the Trackmania Grand League. So that's cool to see. And yeah, let's actually hop into the game here. Right? Because enough talking, let's see how the players are practicing and how a boy Pack is of course doing. Who, yeah, is already safe, so he can just cruise. as you just said, but we are currently seeing one of the new maps, so I'm actually... They just skipped that. Oh man. So let's just hop into the game here. Let's hop into the game here, and yeah. Black screen. Okay, game doesn't recognize or doesn't get recognized. Okay. Yeah, there's the last chance and all those things. But yeah, as the game is still in... okay, now, there we go. Okay, so let's do this. Boom. So this here is the new map, and it's the map called Slow-Mo Forest by Kisla. So this map can decide the fate of the players. Yeah, I mean, those things also come into that. Gwen had holidays. He didn't really feel that much, or he didn't really do too much if he, as he was very busy with that. I don't know, and I'm also interested to see what the point system will be, actually. So just take a look here onto the players, as we still have 10 minutes, and then Marius is gonna join. I guess every player will give their best, I can just tell you that. And hopefully my mod and everything is has loaded. But I think so. Everything should be good. As this is the new map, Slow-Mo Forest. This will be map number 6. And you can see that players are certainly ready for that. So you can see the names are disappearing here if a player comes closer. So you cannot really say that. It's really hard to focus on that. Because again, if you take a look onto the ranking, it's so stacked. But also the 12th position really matters, because the bottom 4 has to shiver around their spot, so they cannot see the spectators if they're gonna do that. But yeah, nah, I mean, it matters to a certain extent, because there is a there's a seeding going on, I would say. So if you take a look onto the rulebook for the players, I think the player who gets first can ban a map, or the top 4. If I recall, that was the thing last week, but I didn't really looking onto that too much. It's in the rulebook, but I didn't really look into that thus far, because I mean, it's confusing understanding the format in general, and thus far we didn't need it. So I mean, something like that. I'll check and tell you. Alright, that's very cool. That's very cool though. But you have to check into the playoffs, because the playoffs will also be in due time. Alright. So currently it's not looking too bad for Pack, but I mean, this map also looks not that hard, and a mistake can be very costly. And also a player like Papu, I've not have seen him like anywhere here, because he was a player from he always makes it into playoffs, and he is very, very good. And this time around, he is sitting there at 37 points. So it's hard to, or it's very bad to see that, but hey, whatever. I think with a good step, Papu can make it, but that's the case for every player. So every player gives his best, and we're gonna start in 8 minutes. 8 minutes, and then we're gonna go live. As I have no idea when Marius will be joining, but he will be there very soonish, I think. So probably Cup of the Day is over very soon. I have no idea, but we're just gonna wait until then. So again, my bets are Carl Jr., Pack, and then Gwen. But I think that below that, there will be a lot of players. Today, Cup of the Day is kind of long. Yeah, whatever. Then it is like that. So you can see Massa doing this identity very well at the first part. You really want to kind of no jump there, and then accumulate as much speed as possible, as Massa is doing that. A very precise jump throughout the trees. And yeah, you can mess it up easily, but I think Massa will just save it. So that was a good execution, but you can see how risky you can go. And Massa, of course, is a risky driver. But, I mean, I think Massa would be fine with one first place here on this last map. But we're gonna see, of course. We're gonna see. For remaining in Cup of the Day. Alright. So what are your predictions, guys? What are your predictions? Do you think that that Pack can maybe win over Carl Jr. here, or will Carl Jr. be super strong and deny, or like deny Pack the victory here? Because I think Pack can definitely make it, but he needs to rely on mistake from Carl Jr. Pack first with 132 points. Okay, that would be sick. That would be very sick, actually. I think also Pack will make it into the top 3. I mean, it's so crazy because Pack lost his points twice and is still at 272 points, which is absolutely ridiculous if you think about that. Well, I think they practice because there's still 100 euro on the line. 100 euro for a map win is pretty good, actually. Okay, I think they will, because they have nothing to lose. They have no pressure. But I see why. I see why though. Okay, Moda third is someone saying. Well, I think that they're gonna wake it because they have no pressure on their shoulders. Yeah, the cash prize. Okay, so then I was correct with the pick a map or like ban a map. So that's the advantage from that. I think it will be I don't know, man. There's so many things that can go wrong in this kind of format. Of course, Riolu was very good, but he's still missing out on a good position. I just have to say that, because he didn't get points in the last 3 or 2 steps. He always lost his points on map number 6. But only one good step and Riolu could be in. Just take it into that. If he takes 60 points, he will be in. Because I doubt that every of those players will make some sort of points. But whatever. Whatever. But I mean, there's also Papu. You know, there's also Papu lurking. Both have similar points. So it will be a very interesting step, and nothing will be decided until the last map is over. Map number 6, lap number 6 on step number 6. The infamous one. But Shamsi, not practicing is actually also a good thing, because with that you have no pressure. But things can go either way, so, you know, it's weird. But I think a cup of the day is about to be done. So I'm just gonna wait till Marius is gonna call me. I think he is. I think Pack is gonna do very well here. But yeah, whatever. We're gonna start very soon, as I have nothing really prepared today because I had a really busy weekend. I went for a cycling tour yesterday because the weather was so good. And yeah, before that on Friday I had to work. So that was also very cool. And yeah, today we had 3 casts. I'm casting from 12 already. Then I had the Trackmania Formula League, so there was a lot of action. Then also, of course, step number 6. But I just had to sleep half an hour before the cast because I was so exhausted. So I was taking the sleep over the preparation. I'm sorry for that, but I tried to keep it as professional as possible, as always. And I think that's what Pack is doing as well, and that's why he's doing good. So you can rewatch it. So where is Marius? Is Cup of the Day over or not? Because we're gonna start in 2 minutes. That's why I'm so concerned. But I'm just gonna go into the map preview already of the first map, because we're gonna start earlier. So enjoy the map preview of the first one. And yeah, there we go. Hallo Marius, how is it going?
Decent. I'm a bit depressed that we always get tech maps on Sundays.
Well, that's good for me though, because I'm not playing Cup of the Day then. But yeah, we have step number 6 coming up here, and we're actually gonna start very soon because they wanna start 5 minutes earlier. So just go ahead and join the server. As thank you so much, Marius and Granadi, for the raids. Very kind. One more time, we have a Trackmania Grand League step here, and yeah, it will be an interesting one. Not for the top 1 or top 2, of course, there can still be a battle, but for the top 8 and for the bottom 4, Marius. And I just thought, you know, my bet, Carl Jr. first, Pack second, and then Gwen in third. Because, I don't know, they don't feel any pressure. And Gwen is Gwen. He had a lot of free time now because there's holidays. And I think that they're gonna take it to the top 3.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he has a lot of pressure. So it does not matter what Gwen is doing from map 1 to 5. If he messes up map 6, he's out.
Yep.
And this is a lot of pressure that he has to deal with. He's for the first time in that kind of situation, I think. I'm not so confident about Gwen, to be honest. I think it could happen that he messes it up.
Yeah, fair point, actually. I mean, also, if you take a look onto Riolu and Papu, who are currently in the bottom 4, of course, the place where you don't want to land in. I didn't expect that when the season started. Riolu, Papu in 13th and 14th, and also Scrappy on P12. That's, and also Avon, you know, P15 for him. That's, oof. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, last season Avon got definitely more points. He was close to 100 there. This season he's further behind, did not really have a single good step, same for Link.
Yeah, I mean, Link is really, for me, I couldn't really see something where he was really good on. I think he was in the top 3 once, if even. And other than that, he couldn't really keep up with the pace of the players. So that's unfortunate to see, but he's still showing us why he's in the Trackmania Grand League. But still, it's hard to compete with them.
So are we starting here with that map change?
Yep, we are starting. I've already presented the map. It's Whoops, a map that suited Pack very well, I have to say. The map is by Ubisoft Nadeo. And we have 1 minute of warm-up. And yeah, I mean, on this map we have found a cool strategy that was revealed by the players on that first time we have seen that map with the, maybe you've seen it, the different bobsleigh line here.
Exactly, there were 2 different lines in the bobsleigh corner. You can do an ice slide, so you drive the corner inside, or you go outside and drive it as a wall ride, kind of. And the wall ride is definitely the faster strategy to do. But of course, there's also the risk that you go too high and clip on the upper side, on the edge. And this will, of course, cost you the whole run, will slow you down a lot. But the ice slide is also very risky. If you lose your grip, then you slide out completely. It's even worse. I think in the first step where this map got played, many people did actually not know about this line.
Yep.
So they had no idea about it, and now that they saw what the fastest players did, everyone copied that and will do the outside line, I guess.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I mean, Pack and also Gren in particular were very strong on this map. So I think they're gonna battle it out for the top 2. And I think also a player like Bren and Papu can also lurk it in. But of course, this is the opening phase. No points have been accumulated beforehand and no points will be lost. And we're gonna start now. Top 1 gets some sort of points, gets 22 points for the fastest lap and for the victory. As we see the first mistake already done by Scrappy, making a mistake already 1.3 behind. He's not in a good mental state, I've heard that. So hopefully he gets well very soon, as he of course makes some mistakes. He's not really focused. And yeah, let's take a look onto Pack here, onto that first couple of chicanes. Massa also with a mistake. Pack is still in it here to win it, as Gwen gets a terrible landing there, and also with the flip, so Gwen is also dead. As we see another player dying, I think it was Tween, by the looks of it. So we see 4 casualties already, Marius. 5 with Aurel and also Afi being so far behind. So that is not really cool to see. But now the identity for the first time, Pack still in the comfortable 8th position. Can he maybe snipe someone here in the ending? Didn't really get it too well. So Pack is stumbling and Pack with a slowdown. So not really that slow. It could have gone way worse. But still he finds himself 1 second behind.
Yeah, you lose roughly a second if you lose time in the identity and you have to opt for the booster or for the reactor boost. But of course, this reminds me a bit on the first step where we have played this map. There were also many mistakes already early on in the race. The second time, last time that we played it, the drivers definitely drove it better, more consistent. Mata with a big mistake as well. Big favorite was Gwen to me because he was having the best lap in both races here, and he was also on the podium in both races. But now also Gwen had an early mistake. He's 2.7 seconds behind. He's already catching up. I would assume that Gwen will have the best lap also this time after the 6 laps. Let's see how far up he can go because we saw so many mistakes already, and 3 seconds is not a lot. Pack, however, I mean, also stumbled in the first step, and now he's already up to 6th place, even though he also had some mistakes. But the guys in front of him made no mistakes so far. They stay in the top 5. Also Link in that.
Yeah, Link, true. Link was in there, and also Avon used to be in there just 1 lap ago. But now he dropped down to P7. So Avon, the team secret player, also in need of some points. But cool that you pointed it out. Link, the Grizzly player, a very skilled player, and of course has joined the Trackmania Grand League 1 season ago, currently on P5. And also Carl Jr. not with a good line there, so it is Link also coming closer and overtaking him here. And also Pack could come a bit closer here. But Pack is still super far behind here. But maybe with a good eyesight he can make it. What was that risky line from Pack there? Spam dropping down here. And it's Pack. Wow, what a crazy line. He was almost clipping it there. But that wasn't the case. And Pack with that up to P5. But that was a very risky line. And yeah, you could see the entry from Spam wasn't executed that well. And that's why he was dying there. But still, it is Pack coming a bit closer here. Bren is so far ahead. And also Riolu, Carl Jr. and Link are doing very good. Carl Jr. with a mistake, though. So the jinx has happened here. And as you've named it, Gwen with the fastest lap.
Yeah, but he must have lost some time in the lap before at the identity, maybe. Because I saw that he was first only 2 point something behind. Now over 3 seconds. But yeah, 1:03.37. That is... yeah, almost as fast as he had in the first time that we played this map, but currently the slowest best lap of all of them. So we have Bren leading 1 second ahead of Ryulu, Link on 3rd, and Pack again risking it so much over this bobsleigh corner and catching up so much to Link, soon overtaking him. The identity will decide more. Of course, in the first map you can't lose any points, it's just about getting points, and only the top positions have a really advantage, especially the first place. These 20 points versus only 14 points for second is a huge gap, and Bren currently having good chance to get it. I mean, he was also always driving good on this track. It's definitely one of the best tracks from Bren, and Ryulu also very consistent here, same for Pack. On 3rd place, Link sadly now dropped down to 7th in the identity.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to note that one down. And then we have a huge group here with Carl Jr., Spam, and Gwen batting it out for P4 at the moment. But let's focus on that top 3 because it's really cool to see Riolu again with a very good performance. I just have to say that he really puts in the effort. And this is what Riolu's mentality is about. It's about, even if you lose, I'm still gonna try my best. And this is really cool to see that currently on P2. Maybe he can snipe the 1 or another 100th from Bren away here, but currently Riolu is on a 2nd position, 1.8 seconds away, but only 0.6 ahead of Pack here. And then we have Carl Jr. Spam behind that, so pretty huge gaps on this map, Marius. And also Riolu now with a small mistake there, loses on a little bit of time, so Pack comes closer. Maybe he can snipe it here in this identity. Second to last time we're gonna see that, but Pack gets a really awkward landing that didn't jump that far, so Riolu has some air to breathe. And also look at this line, that was a very nice line there from Riolu actually.
Yeah, so we have actually a mistake by Gwen in the last lap. He's now 11 seconds behind, so he won't score very well on his best map. So not the best start into this final step for Gwen. Pack is around 6/10 behind Ryulu. That will be difficult to catch up. Maybe a bit in the bobsleigh corner, but Ryulu drew very solid so far. And Bren has, yeah, now a big lead already, 2.5 seconds almost. That will be a very good time, very good 6th level if he can keep it up until the finish line. So Pack again with a nicely executed bobsleigh corner, but Ryulu was also getting it decently, and Pack couldn't really catch up there. We have still the battle behind between Carl Jr. and Spam for 4th, and now the last identity is coming up. So Bren seems to make it, or does he have to slow down for the reactor boost? No, Pack has to slow down. Carl Jr. and Spam are overtaking him. And Ryulu also gets overtaken. He still gets 3rd place, but Carl Jr. snipes up to 2nd place in the end. Pack only 5th, and Bren wins with a 6 minutes 24.78. And I must say, that is a sick time. That is faster than what Gwen has driven last week. Very, very good performance by Bren.
Very good performance indeed, but the fastest lap goes to Gwen, as forecasted beforehand. But Bren with a very solid performance, only one mistake in that identity he has made. And with that, he was 3.7 seconds ahead. But also Pack here with a mistake at this ending. But Carl Jr. was also capitalizing from that, so maybe both of them have pushed it. But yeah, it's still Ryulu getting 3rd position. Off to a good start, I would say, for the Northern player here, getting 12 points. Still, of course, 14 would have been better, but still, it is a good performance, not gonna lie. And now we have the next map, and the next map is a cool one. It's called Reversing, and yeah, I mean, this was the map where Pack lost his points. But enjoy the map preview. I'm just gonna quickly over it, and you all have seen this map already. So we have Reversing as map number 2 by Thompson. And I mean, this is an identity or a style of identity that we haven't seen thus far. And now we're gonna see the map for the 3rd time here on step number 6. Was introduced in step number 4. And yeah, I mean, it was a bad map for Pack, but also a good map in some sort of way.
Yeah, at the first step where this map got driven in step 4, Pack had lost all his points here, as it was in map 6. As his car did not turn around at the exit of the ice corner that we will see now. And in the second step where this map got driven, Pack was the winner with a very good time actually, with a 6 minutes 10, which is close to the offline world record. And yeah, another good player is of course Gwen here. He was having both times the podium. And the fastest laps went to Tween and Pack, so these are the players that had gotten good positions here so far. Now we will go live, spectating Pack here for the first lap on Reversing.
Yeah, go ahead, Marius, actually.
We start off with a full speed section here in the first lap. It will be a drift, and in the flying laps, now driving through the triangle of the checkpoint, one drift here over the platform, and then a tight jump here, another jump where you turn your car to the left to angle it nicely for this left drift. Also here, you wanna drift tight and have a nice straight direct line through the gap there, and Pack got it very, very nicely, is currently in the lead. A long right drift, followed here by a slight left drift with a kinda difficult jump, you can easily mess it up there. And now a very risky corner that is tightening here into this chicane, where you can risk quite a lot to get a lot of exit speed. And now we come to the identity. You jump up, release a lot, turn your car a little bit, and then you drive backwards. And at backwards driving, you try to make a little speed slide down the hill on the grass to gain some speed. And then you turn around on the ice, and this is the first lap. And we have the current battle, the typical battle, Pack versus Carl Jr.
Yeah, Pack versus Carl Jr. here indeed. So Pack has gotten himself 9 points beforehand, but also Scrappy with a good performance, with a nice comeback. I mean, we have seen it on that prior map. He was making a severe mistake at the beginning and still has 5 points. So not too little here for the Lazarus player. Of course, he can still make it to the playoffs. But yeah, currently it's looking good for him as he is on P3, as well as Avon, 4th position currently in battle with Spam. Then we have Afi, Moda and Papu rounding off the top 8. And then Bren, who already fell behind, making a mistake before that first jump into that identity. So he is currently on last position. Let's go into the identity for the second time, as I still will follow Pack and Carl Jr. here. Close battle. Nice jump here from Pack. Gets so much more speed. Goes for the outside approach. Jumps a little bit though. So that wasn't the line he was searching for. And lost a lot of speed because of this small airtime. So he drops from 2nd actually to 7th position. Good turnaround though. Gets a lot of speed. A lot of things have happened here. And Pack up to P5 again. And ding ding. The fastest lap for none other than Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen currently on 6th place. He had a weak first lap, I assume. I also saw that Scrappy made a mistake during the previous lap, which made him fall back now to 12th place. And then the mistake at the exit of the identity. I'm not sure who it was. I thought it was Mata, but he's still decently positioned on 9th place. So Pack, after his time loss, trying to make up the time again, and is up to 3rd already. We have actually Evan fighting against Carl Jr. now in 1st place. That's nice to see.
Oh,
Evan
Pack!
definitely show a bit something, but Pack with a huge mistake. Also Tween in front. We see Tween also with low speed. But yeah, luckily you can't lose any points here, so it does not matter too much. But of course, this race is ruined. Pack will not score a lot of points here. He can go for the fastest lap now. He can full risk, but he won't get really far away from 16th. So let's go then further ahead. We still have Carl Jr. in the front, but Avon also crashed.
Oh no, Avon also with a mistake. And I have no idea why Pack didn't go for a respawn actually. For a flying respawn and didn't decide to do that. But yeah, Pack is
also crashes.
so far behind. And yeah, Riolu with the respawn. And look at that. The respawn. He will be in last. Okay, there's a red boost. Never mind. Maybe he will still stay ahead of Pack. No, he won't do so. So that's super unfortunate here for Riolu, who was on a good position there. And also has, of course, gotten himself top 3. So he is down on that. Let's take a look into the top 8. We have Avon, who dropped down. Then Link on P7. Also a very nice performance here for Link on this map so far. Aurel on P6. Moda, who got 1 point on P number 5. And you can really see a lot of players who weren't really in the top 8 beforehand are now trying to snipe one. Only Carl Jr. and Spam, who are a double-digit amount of points, are currently in the top 8, in the top 14 even. But someone has made a mistake there. I think that was Link. Yes, Link and Carl Jr. both with a mistake there. And Carl Jr. drops down to P10. So a lot of things have happened here in this lap, Marius. And it's a back and forth, and Pack sets the fastest lap.
Yeah, really nobody had a clean race so far. Gwen now in the lead, who was already a bit further behind at the first lap. Carl Jr. seemed to make another very solid performance, but even he was now doing a mistake. Albon was in the lead, also made a mistake. I see Kappa crashing right ahead of Carl Jr. A big crash by Kappa. Yeah, Pack was in the front, he also crashed, so actually everyone. So we have now in the lead Gwen, followed by Papu and Spam. I think that Spam, he is currently on 9th place in the league ranking. And I assume he will do good today. I assume he will keep his points, or many points in the end. We will see, but he might actually go into the top 8. Also, if the others would keep their points, he already has a good start, 10 points, and now another 3rd position currently for him. And we go into the last lap already, and he has a good gap to the next player on 4th place behind him.
Yeah, exactly, but the battle for 4th place is on. It is Aurel, Scrappy, and Avon who are fighting it out. Currently, the Lazarus player has the upper hand. Avon jumps so good into the CP there. That was a very risky line, not gonna lie here, and he is really pushing it here. But Scrappy with the better line also holds that gear there way better, and you can see Scrappy is ready on this step by the looks of it. Scrappy is ready, the Lazarus player, and currently he can take home that 4th position here. So who's gonna take the victory though? It's Gwen 1 second ahead of Papu, and then we have 0.2 behind that. There is Spam, who also got himself the podium position beforehand. And also Bren. I mean, Bren made a mistake at the beginning of the race, currently at P11. So this is not too bad for him. But Now the identity. Spam is pushing it here. Jumps a little bit too far. Or his approach wasn't that good. But he can still make it with a backwards finish. Let's see who's going for that backwards finish. Both are turning around. Papu with the slide. But it will be Spam taking it here.
No,
not taking
Scrappy.
it. Wait, Scrappy.
Losing a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. It was Spam actually behind Papu. And then we have Gwen winning it. Evon, Aurel, Scrappy, Link. And then Call Jr. Afi. And let's see if Pack snipes that fastest lap. He has to go backwards into the finish. And he will do that. Thomas Cole, ladies and gentlemen. Bing! Fastest lap for him. Very nice. Very cool to see that.
Alright, then this is also the fastest lap that we've ever seen in the races. But of course, with a backwards finish, he is gaining a few tenths. So that helps.
Yeah,
but nice ending for him.
Yeah, nice ending. Look at the points. We have seen 13 players with double-digit amount of points. That is really cool. That is really, really cool. I have to say that. But this just shows that everyone is ready on this particular step. And now we have map number 3 coming up. And this is none other than the map that used to be map number 6 in the prior step. So I'm going to show it to you. It is Arctic Split. So enjoy the map preview. Oh yeah, it's clash time. Oops. It's clash time. Okay, it's clash time. But still, we have seen the map then already. So that's out of the way. And yeah, let's actually go with clash time here. We start in 22 seconds. Yeah, come on. So the track looks very easy, as you can see. Yeah, the bobsleigh, of course. But we need, of course, Javelin here to respawn. So, of course, if it's needed, do that. But we can see only turns to the right. Yeah, and let's go. Come on, let's go, guys. Let's go ahead with Pack here. Go to the right. Yeah. That's actually good. That's good. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Well, go to the right. Or just go into the other direction. Go to the left. Go to the left. Go to the left. No, they're not. Guys, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well. We can just stick to the right. Just steer to the right, guys. Who's steering to the left? Who's steering to the left there? Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, just yeah. I don't know. Whatever. We're currently on P12. Massa with the... Oh my god, Massa is in first. But look at the fight here for top. Okay, guys. Let's just go to the right now. Just push to the right. Why to the left? Why to the left, guys? Why are you going to the left? We can't stay at the border. Okay. Just PF... Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, let's go into this direction. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Push it. Oh, no. Oh my god. Okay, nice. Now to the left. Left. Oh no. Yeah, just go for respawn. Simba, you troll! Okay, go to... Nah, well, this is stupid. I don't know what this is, but why is the car always accelerating? Like... Well, whatever. Man, Pack, can't you drive here? But yeah, whatever. Javelin. Okay. Well. Okay, respawn. That was a good cause. Good choice there. Yeah. Come on. Go. Jawollo. Yeah. Yep. I only see spam, huh? They finished that. Oh. Wait, what? Yeah, I don't know either, but I mean, this mode is really weird because the inputs are not displayed correctly. You've seen it again with the backwards, and I think this is, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. So whatever. I'm happy that it's over. But whatever. Just a yeah, I've already presented it.
Fastest lap in the last lap, and also Ryulu was very close. He got over. No, he did not. He wasn't even getting overtaken by Kappa. Ryulu had also a very sick lap, and they both overtook Scrappy with that. That was a very sick race, a very close race. And this is what we can again expect now, of course, with the point loss of 50% points if you are in the bottom 8 positions.
Yeah. So Marius was saying. So I was accidentally not. I was clicking on the mute thing, but yeah, you were just saying that it was a very close battle there, and then I mean, you were continue on talking. So sorry, I was just muting him because I had the map preview settings still open. So things like that can of course happen. This only shows that we are still human. And yeah, I mean, this is a very close map, and I mean, we've seen Gwen losing his points here, if I recall it correctly, as well as Scrappy and Afi for the first time on map 6. So I think now Mario's Discord is dead.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
I didn't realize it was a question. I was just searching Pack and the scoreboard.
Yeah. Okay, he's on P11. Okay, but I mean, I think that Gwen wants to redeem himself. I mean, he's currently on P1, and then Bren is behind that on P2, and Spam on P3. So pretty close fight actually, but you named it. 50% of points will be lost here. And yeah, that's how things are. I mean, if let's say Riolu loses his points here, if he gets 9th position, Riolu 9 emotes. I mean, he's added that to his channel. He will lose 7 points, but he will gain the points for his position. But the point that he will gain will add up to that after that. So after that, yeah.
Yeah, the point gaps in the total scoreboard will definitely go. The differences between the players will be much larger after this map, as some players lose half of their points and others will gain big points again.
Yeah. I think so as well. I mean, especially if someone in the top loses his points. Of course, I don't hope that this will happen, but things like that are inevitably gonna happen. So someone will lose more than 13 points or 13 points, you know, because there's so many people with points here on this step thus far. So point loss will happen, of course. But yeah, we're gonna start now here with the semi-final phase. Arctic Split is the first map that has been built by Poupette. And let's go ahead with the first round here, as we see Gwen already dead. So the first ice slide is not really nice, and Gwen is already so far behind here, as you can see. He's so far behind. He had to respawn all the way 7 seconds behind, though. This is how quickly things can go. And bear in mind, Gwen is not safe yet. So Gwen is not safe yet, and this will be at least 12 points that will be lost to him. Of course, he can still come back, but he needs to rely on mistakes. Okay. Alright, so Pack currently on a good position here. Afi with an interesting 9 there on the inside. So he finds himself on first position together with Bren and Papu. So Papu also with good practice. Muda also doing it very nicely. Pack at the moment on that 5th position. Then we have Massa, Aurel and Riolu behind that, but still very, very close, as I will go with Kappa here for that first identity. Let's see who makes a mistake here, or if a mistake will even happen. It's Riolu who had to release there, but he was able to stay ahead as well as Papu. So Monka W for them. Oh, we see a lot of mistakes here. Carl Jr., Spam, Avon and Scrappy are all so far behind here. So Scrappy again with a deja vu. Also Spam with a mistake. So many mistakes have happened here on that first lap.
Yeah, that's crazy. For Gwen, definitely not the best map, as he lost all his points here last week, and as it was map 6. He lost all his 64 points on this track, and now again he has got an early crash over 12 seconds. He's already behind. And yeah, he's probably only going for the fastest lap now, but that's it. We see Riolu in the front, Pack now attacking him, tries to overtake and goes into the lead almost, but what was that? Pack went way too high there. Can he make the jump? He can make it. Oh man, he landed on the quarter pipe, but still had a reactor boost there, and this pushed him down again, but he lost a lot of time, and he's now in the red positions. And what happened to Urel? I did not see it. But yeah, he's further behind now. He dropped down to P13. And now we go up to Pack again. We see Massa, who touches and loses some time. Pack risking it a bit more than Mother and Link. But also behind Pack, I think it's Tween who's there. Pack jumping with more speed here. But the exit speed is for Mother and Link. Pack now back to 6th place, so again in the green positions.
Yeah, again in the green. Also a nice ice slide here executed by Pack. Goes from P6 to P6, but it looked like that he was overtaken there by a minute, but he just had a good exit speed, and just this, you can see now he's up to P4, overtaking Moda and Link with that. So Link with a very good performance thus far. And also take a look onto that Carl Jr. after making a mistake on P8 again. Okay, onto P9 now, but still a very close fight here for this 8th position, as we see Papu currently leading, who are setting the fastest lap, but with a mistake there. Papu falls behind here, has no speed. That's the worst part, where he can make a mistake. Papu lost more than 1 second with that, and now down to P8, still ahead of Carl Jr. Riolu is leading the race. That's a rare picture for me. And then we have Bren in 2nd, Pack on 3rd, Moda on P4. But we still have a lot of track to go here. Pack with a small mistake here, but is still able to stay alive. We see different lines you can release beforehand, or like even afterwards, to go for the angle or not, or for just for the speed. So different lines here. But Riolu and Bren with a good performance here thus far.
Very weird line here for Pack.
No!
Oh, Bren with a mistake. I wanted to say that we've seen like a lot of mistakes already, it seems like, but this race is so close, or at least it was close to end of last lap. Now actually we have some gaps, but last lap they were just within 1.5 seconds, like 1st to 10th or something. Now there is actually a gap from 9th to 10th, a huge gap, so only Kappa is close to make it. He was also last week on the 9th position and made it with the fastest lap in the last lap to go into the top 8. And yeah, Riolu's leading now also with some margin after Bren has fallen down to 14th position. Pack got overtaken now, does have really low speed here. Gets overtaken by Afi, by Mada, by Papu, who's coming back. Oh, that was tight for Pack. That was very tight. Very lucky that he did not crash there. And Riolu keeps on driving safely here in the identity. Yeah, he makes also the last jump. And this means that Riolu is still having a 7/10 lead, but the others are catching up a little bit.
Yeah, so Papu, after that mistake, is still here in the race, only 0.5 away. Papu seems to be ready. The Gamers Origin player is pushing it here, but also Pack. Look at the speed here from Pack, going into the kind of full speed section that ends with a freewheel part.
So Pack is doing it really nicely. Papu goes so close there, but still we have 2 or 1.5 or more laps to go, and it's Pack versus Papu, and it's of course also for the points and also for the 100 euro, but the points are very important here for Riolu and Papu, who could both still make it into the playoffs, and both have already accumulated a good amount of points here. 15 points for Riolu and 18 points for Papu. But now the identity is coming up one more time here. 0.17, but what a close fight there. Riolu with a different line there. Papu goes into the lead. Look at the fight here. It's dead even between all of those 3 players, and it will be decided in the last lap. What a great comeback though from Papu, but the fight is on here. The fight is on. Papu with a beautiful identity, and you can just see how prepared he is. But look how close that is. 0.16 between the top 3 Marios.
Yeah, Papu seems to be the fastest player of them, but what a beautiful exit by Pack here in the ice side. But I think that both Papu and Riolu did mess it up a little bit, and that helped Pack to go into the lead right here. And yeah, you have to remember what kind of feeling that is for the players when they are in the identity, and from each jump to the next jump, the position on the car is changing from first to third to second. Then you know you're in a fight, but Riolu is actually losing it right now a little bit in terms of pace. He was leading, and now he's only on 4th place. Afi with a huge comeback here in this lap. Maybe Afi is going for the best lap, currently being held by Gwen with a 108.62. Yeah, meanwhile, Pack still in the lead. Oh, Papu, what was that? Oh, he survived. He was far outside on the crest, but now he's too low at the exit of the wall ride. Luckily for him, now the identity starts, and he won't lose more time. But he had to release a bit. So Junior actually up to 4th place. What is Afi doing? Afi goes into the lead, overtakes Pack. The last jump that he said, Pack again too slow. Pack maybe with a very risky end, yet he makes it. He goes into the lead. He wins 100 euros by 300 against Afi. I thought he will again drive too safe like last time against Carl Junior in the last identity. But Afi with a nice comeback. Not fastest lap though. 2nd place. Riolu back on 3rd. Carl Junior 4th in front of Papu, who's only 5th, and Scrappy on 6th, Kappa 7th, Massa on 8th. I saw Mata actually dropping down at some point out of the top 8. He was close to Scrappy then, but there were multiple more mistakes afterwards. So Spam made it up to 9th place after his early blunder, but he will lose half of this point. And Gwen, of course, also big loser. Both Spam and Gwen are on 8th and 9th place in the league ranking before this step has started. And both of them have lost half of their points now, and they are pretty even here. Spam was only 2 points behind Gwen.
Yeah, I mean, if we take a look into the ranking here, just before the next map starts, it is actually pretty close. And it is Riolu actually with a very nice comeback thus far. He has gotten himself a lot of points, 27 if I recall it correctly, something like that. But great performance from him. Hopefully he can keep it up. But yeah, actually the game is loading too long, so I'm just gonna show you the map here. Map number 4, which is Whirlpool. So Marius, I don't know what to think about that, but look, P14 to P7, less than 30 points. This is incredible. This will all go down to the wire, and even though Scrappy played not that bad, you know, he's currently sitting on P6, he dropped down to P14 with that. That is crazy to think about. Riolu and Papu with a very good step thus far. Twin didn't really feel it. Kappa and Massa are on P9 and 10. Then we have Gwen and Spam still on P7 and 8. So Spam overtaking Massa with that. But I mean, it's so close. And now things will heat up. We have 3 more maps, and Whirlpool will be the second map out of the semi-final phase, where players still lose 50% of their points. We had a pretty close battle here on that last one. And a lot of mistakes, especially on this identity and on that jump into the multi-lap again.
Yeah, the jump, you have to have enough speed out of the identity to clear the jump after the multi-lap. If you can't make it and you have to slow down, you will lose a bit more than a second. And this can already cost you everything if you want to reach the top 8. It was very close last time. But look who's in the top 2 in the step ranking, Pack and Carl Jr. Again, these two persons even stepping out here in this last final step. Let's spectate Pack here for this first lap. Going here through this tight corner, tight drift corner over the freewheel. You want to have a lot of speed here through the looping. By the way, Pack, yeah, he's now first in the step ranking, and he was, I think, before that last map, he was on 10th or 11th. So, one first place, these 20 points, they are so crucial. They make really a big difference. And it was very important that he got them and overtook Afi there in the end. He's also overtaken a lot of players here in this section and goes up to 4th place. And yeah, last week it was a Gwen domination. He was leading it from the first lap onwards, had the fastest lap, won the race. And again, we see Gwen on this track with a very good start, leading. And it is time for Gwen to get some good points. But he actually had a bad exit there. Can Gwen make the jump? He makes it. He stays on 4th place. But yeah, bad identity in the end for him.
Yeah, and I mean, we have already seen two players who are actually contestants for the top 8 making a mistake. Massa and also Spam currently on P15 and 16. So Spam lost his points before that as well. And currently is about to lose his points again. Scrappy as well on P11, but still only 0.17 away here. So everything can happen. So still very close here between the top 11, top 12 towards the top 1. We only have 1 second between them. But currently Pack is leading. Pack ahead of Gwen. Gwen had good identities though. And I want to check out the identity here actually without the camera to see how Gwen does that. I'm just going to go into the follow camera to see how Gwen does this identity. Because this really sometimes is a little bit better to see. And currently Gwen is having a good line. Look at that, no slide, very nice speed there. But Pack jumps just a little better. So Pack is extending his lead even. Jumps so far here. So Gwen has more exit speed, but goes for the inside line. Goes into the lead, but Pack has more speed. So it's neck and neck here between them. And it is Gwen actually setting the fastest time. So still a close battle between them.
Yeah, but the top 8 still within, or even the top 9 still within 1 second. So this is a very close pack. But behind Ryu, there's half a second gap to Mada and Evan. And then all the crashers, 5 people, Tween, Orel, Massa, Spam and Afi. Spam, of course, crucial for him as he is on that 9th place in the league ranking before this step has started. And Afi with his 24 points would lose quite a lot as well.
Yep.
So let's go back to the lead here. Gwen currently leading in front of Pack. Bren was also showing up there in this corner, but had less exit speed. He and Papu still kind of close. Then a little gap now behind them to 5th place, which is Kappa, who was on the podium last week. Got overtaken there in the last moment by Pack, which we sadly missed. So we see that Pack now has the best exit out of this identity, goes up into the lead. Gwen on 2nd. Bren and Papu, however, closed in this lap.
Yeah, Pack with... I mean, we see interesting lines there. We see Pack and going for that exit speed as Gwen and Papu just went for the sort of, yeah, best speed in this identity to get over with that. But it seems everything works out. You just have to find your preference in that. But Pack currently cruising, as he just says it already, or every time on that first position. 33 points for him at the moment. And I mean, it is Carl Jr. who is at 30 points, he's 3 points out of him. So Pack needs to rely on the point loss from the one and only Carl Jr. Could still happen, of course, on map 5 and 6. But also on this one here, as we currently approaching identity number 4. Bren lost a little bit of speed here in this section. Let's go a little bit further behind. I'm gonna follow Scrappy here, who's sitting on 8th position. But look, there's already a huge gap here between 8th and 9th. 0.6 of a second, and Scrappy looks very good here. So let's go back to Pack again, because he's approaching this one very well. Nice speed accumulated, and fastest lap for Pack.
Right, the 104
Oh,
points.
Pack!
Oh, he's still there. I just wanted to look what the best lap has been in the previous week, and I was just looking at my paper, and then suddenly Pack disappears. Well, but he is still on 5th place, so he will still keep his points, but he of course has to refocus after a mistake. It's very likely to do another mistake because you have a slightly different speed, a slightly different angle, but after a few turns it should be fine and he survived the next corners. This also shows that he is a champion, that he is really good in this game, and many other players would maybe actually make a second mistake right afterwards. He didn't, and this keeps him in the top 8 right here. We still have a fight. Papu has dropped down to 9th place, and this is crucial as well, of course, because Papu is one of the guys that is fighting for the ticket for the World Cup. He's very close as he had a very bad season so far, and he has also a bad identity and got overtaken by Avon again, and is now back to 9th place, and he was only one single lap to redeem himself here, after he was doing very well so far in this race before.
Yeah, so Papu drops down 0.4 of a second. He needs a good identity, but also Avon and Riolu are there. And then we have, I mean, for the top 3, there is like top 2, Kappa, Pack, Carl Jr., Bren, and then there's Gwen super far ahead. But also below that, Scrappy, Avon, and Riolu are betting out for the juicy 6th position here. So currently Kappa is a little bit further behind onto P5, but of course you named it on the map beforehand. If the positions just change every time you go through a checkpoint, this really makes you nervous. And thus far it's looking good here for the players. Actually, it is Gwen dropping down to P9. What happened to him? All of a sudden it's Bren in 1st position and Pack can just full send this identity. Let's follow Pack here. Can he maybe win it here or not? Will it be someone else or will Bren stay ahead? Pack with a good amount of speed here. Can he make it happen? There's only one more jump after that coming up. Pack had a lot of exit speed here, but I think it's not enough here to take this one home.
It looks decent for Gwen, but Papu seems to be out. Oof.
Oh my god, Gwen! That was so close, 1400ths of a second between Papu and Gwen there in the ending. So Bren wins yet another map here. Very nicely done here by the Kameto Core player, but very close there. A lot of back and forth.
Yeah, look, Ryuno 5th place, and he's just 3 tenths ahead of Papu.
Wow.
But he went up to 5th. That's good points as well for Ryuno. He was close to red positions.
Yeah, a very good step for him this far. He is at 36 points. Very, very nice to see that. Hopefully he can keep it up. He's currently sitting on that 4th position here. As you can see, tied or 3rd position with Bren, as Peck and Carl Jr. are still leading. But yeah, now we have map 5 coming up. And yeah, I see already the Twitter posts because of the point system. But I think the people can just go over that. So I'm just gonna present you the maps and let's go ahead with them. Oh man. Alright, Marius, this is the second to last map and the first map of the final phase. I mean, Pack is currently leading ahead of Carl Jr., so old news kind of, but this map here, ski jump by Nadeo, Ubisoft Nadeo, this is not the hardest map, I would say. As Marius is gone at the moment. Hopefully you will come back very soon. Sorry to interrupt you, Marius, for your VOD, but on my stream I cannot hear him. So just interrupt me any minute. We have 3 minutes of a break here before we're gonna start with the final phase. And this is the identity here. There's only a couple of turns which are hard, especially this transition into the last part of the track, which is those drops here. And then also the part that comes up just here with the hairpin kind of, which is hard. So those are the 2 harder parts, but the players will definitely push it here.
So I'm gonna try again. Can you hear me again?
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, there's of course also this jump on the dirt, where you need good extra speed from the hairpin before, where Pack will arrive now.
Yeah.
So if you have good speed, then you will clear the jump. If you have not enough speed, then you will lose quite a lot of time by the unsmooth landing. But yeah, let's have a look at the overall standings right now. So we have Pack 9 points in front of Carl Jr. Pack was in the ranking 41 points behind Carl Jr. So if Carl Jr. loses his points and Pack doesn't, then Pack would overtake Carl Jr. This is the fight for first place in this whole season with the 6 steps. Then, however, we have this huge fight for reaching the top 8. And I must say, I counted Ryulu a bit out of it because he really has to get a lot of points, but he already got them. So now the question is, can Ryulu keep his points? With his 36 points, he basically caught up all the distance that he had before this step started to Spam to the 9th place. So if he gets 2 further good positions, he might actually have a chance to come in. But mainly, Ryulu is fighting also against Scrappy. Because Ryulu, Papu, Evan, and Link are currently the bottom 4 players, and only Scrappy is in points close to them. So this is a 5 points difference for both Papu and Ryulu up to Scrappy. Papu now lost a lot of points and is falling behind. He's currently in the bottom 4 places. And this means that he has to battle against OGL players in the end, if he stays there. However, Ryulu currently and Scrappy are fighting it out to get ahead. But now that they both have good points, they might actually overtake Tween. Where is Tween? Tween has only 8 points, and this is a thing that I saw already in the past steps. Tween had a very good start into the season, but then he fell back. Different to that is Kappa, who actually caught up, and Kappa's also on 9th place in the overall scoreboard over 2 seasons combined, which makes the qualification for the World Cup if you get into the top 8 there.
Yeah, I mean, you just named a lot of things, but also people like Kappa and also Scrappy and Ryulu, they can lose a lot of points. Masa already has a lot of points accumulated, and he is only sitting there with 10 points. But, I mean, we're gonna find out very soon as we see the first mistake here from Spam. Spam, a lot of mistakes today. Look at that. Spam is so far behind already. And this is almost the GG here before it even started for him. Didn't get the smooth jump. This is not good for him. But let's go ahead to the identity because this map is rather short, I would say. It's pretty... There are a lot of long stretches, a lot of long things you want to do. The jump is taking a lot of time. And yeah, we're gonna go into that first identity here as we see Pack currently on P6 at the moment. Goes for a lot of speed here, so you can see the jump here. You really have to get the perfect amount of speed and a good transition here as Pack does this one really well. So Pack currently on that position here, on that 3rd position and counting. But look, who is there? Tween. Tween is on P number 1 at the moment. So this is cool to see, but look at the fight. That's so close here between all the players going into that 2nd lap.
Yeah, currently it's only Spam who is out of the contest here. Mada a little bit further behind the Pack, but still with a chance to catch that up for sure. Pack actually only on 9th place, but so close to 1st still. I mean, this just shows this map is not all too difficult, and this will be a close race. One mistake and you're definitely out of the chance to reach a top 8 position here in the end. And you really have to have the pace here. And Pack has one good corner and he moves up to kinda 3rd, it looked like. But what did Papu do there? He somehow boosted up in front there. And here we see different lines. Like most people are going outside, but Pack is opting for the inside line.
Oh,
Stumbles quite a lot. And this is not good. He has less speed. Is this actually now a problem in this identity? He has the same speed than Norel, but he definitely lost a bit of ground to the other players. And he has now position 10 currently, close to the others, but so many different lines. Tween completely jumping over the border, but Tween, oh my god, there was a big crash. So Tween from 1st to somewhere behind, but still in the top 8, I believe. But Ryulu is the guy that actually drops down. Ryulu and Spam both now currently, Spam actually only 3.8 anymore behind 8th place, so he caught up a tiny bit, but yeah, that looks now bad for the 2 streamers.
Oh no, actually I was seeing that one coming and this looked very funny, but it's Ryulu here who is on P15 and I just had to lift my hands and just give myself a facepalm because this is exactly not what I wanted. Riolu on P15, and with that, Scrappy all of a sudden is capitalizing from that after he is on P8. So Riolu needs a miracle here to make it happen. He needs 2.3 seconds to the position here, to the 8th position. But someone else made a mistake. I think that was Kappa here. Yes, Kappa so far behind, no speed. So Muda can capitalize from that. But you can see a lot of mistakes have happened here. But let's go a little bit further towards Pack again, as he is currently finding himself on P6. And yeah, there are a lot of points actually down. I mean, Bren is there minus 36, Kappa is there minus 31, Riolu is there minus 36, and then there's Gwen leading here out of Tween, Evon, Carl Jr., Pack, Scrappy, and Aurel. So again, Carl Jr. and Pack are in the top 8.
Yeah, and Massa was at the beginning only on 15th place. Now he already caught up to 9th place and is attacking now Aurel. And behind them we still have also Bran and Link not too far away. Also Kappa, after his mistake, still has a chance to make it. We are now in lap 4, currently the fastest lap. Also important, of course, by Papu, who is just dropping down. But what happened there? Did he have not enough speed for the jump, or did he actually land back? It looked really weird that he had low speed so late. So now Papu actually drops down to 9th place. But he has some good pace, as he just showed with his fastest lap time, so he can maybe catch up again and get into the green positions. It would be very important for him, but it would be also important for him to maybe deny Scrappy here a green position. If he is the one that can actually put Scrappy into red, that would be very important for Papu. Meanwhile, in front we have Gwen and Tween. Those two are fighting here for the victory currently. We have Carl Jr. again in the top 8, but what happened to Pack right here?
Oh,
he's only in 14th place.
What happened to Pack? I haven't seen that one coming. There is so many many things happening right now. Look at the battle here for that top 4. It is Link, Aurel in that, and Aurel is on P10. That is a crazy battle here. They look like a swarm who are attacking Carl Jr. here at the front. This looks absolutely incredible how they are driving, but Link bonk into the wall. Link is dead there, and this is the risk that you take. Oh my god, so many mistakes are actually happening here because players have to push this one. So this feels like a very unpleasant map to play, I just can tell you that. And currently Aurel 0.34 away on P9. And yeah, he needs more than that, of course, but mistakes can of course happen. As I just go into the normal camera again here to follow Aurel here for that identity, to see how the players are jumping and how they're doing it, so you can see how the car will rotate here. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see Pack losing 49 points here, but we have still one more lap. Massa not doing it good. Papu didn't do it good as well, so you can see it well better here, or a lot better. Aurel, what are you doing, Aurel? Oh my god, so many mistakes have happened here. Oh
and so many risky parts by Papu as well at these jumps and drops and turns here in the end of the map. And yeah, now we have the last lap coming up. So we have the fight for first between two players. They have a 2 seconds lead to Carl Jr., who has a little gap to the players behind him. Bren, yeah, now up to 4th place, looks relatively decent. Papu with so many ups and downs in this race. But what happened to Kappa?
Nothing, but he is in at the moment. So that's maybe important.
Yes, that's actually interesting that he made it in. Behind him, some players that have not so many points. Mata only 4 points so far in the step. It's interesting. I saw another one just dropping a little bit down there, but it's still quite close here. But mainly close between like 6th, 7th, 8th. Mata on 9th is too far behind. And Aurel also a second behind. So if they don't do any mistakes... Carl Jr. stumbled a bit, but he is also still safe because Mata is just too far behind. Or does someone make a mistake? Carl Jr. is now on that 8th place, but it seems like he will keep his points. Meanwhile, Gwen is winning in front of Tween. Gwen is getting the 3rd position in front of Paput, Scrappy, Kappa, Evon, and Carl Jr., who was on 3rd, fell back to 8th, but he will keep his points and he will win the season because Pack has lost his points. So Pack is not able to catch up anymore to Carl Jr. So GG to Carl Jr. This is a fight we don't have to look out for anymore.
Yeah.
For the last map.
Yeah, for the last map. And I mean, Scrappy and Kappa were keeping their points. And now the pressure is on. Riolu lost them, but everything can change on the last map. And there's still fights going on, but it's safe to say that Pack cannot win anymore. So GG's to Carl Jr.
So, a Yep 3 map, Marius. And let's take a look onto the ranking. Look at that. It is Scrappy being so close here to actually overtake them. And Muda down to P8 with that. Muda is not safe yet. Now it's tween Scrappy versus Muda here.
Yeah, but Mother is relatively safe because he only scored 5 points, which means he can't really lose more points. He can't score much less than 5 points. He only can get overtaken if the others in front of him keep their points, who overtook him, and Tween or Scrappy have to win. And that is what so they have to make a 20-pointer on this last map. Only then Mother can drop down. So Mother is on the 8th spot, but he is relatively safe. But there are of course people like Gwen who made points and look safe now in this league ranking. But if he loses his points now, he's out. Yeah, he can be out. This is for multiple people the case. But yeah, it's interesting that Mother, Afi, and Orel, all of them did not score good so far. Spam, of course, down to 12th place, but even that can change. If Spam now wins or gets a good position and Gwen loses his points and also Tween, Scrappy, Massa loses their points, or a few of them, then Spam could be in again in the top 8. So the last map will decide absolutely everything. And yeah, live we go, following Pack now for this first lap. Starting here with the dirt section. Onto the Crest right-hander. Bren, by the way, is leading in the step. We saw him so often doing well and losing his points. Also, he is not safe yet if he loses his points. Currently, he is in the last place, but without a crash. Pack, however, makes a crash, an early crash, but of course for Pack, he has not really an aim other than winning this map and getting 100 euros. The season, nothing will change. His position is clear. Orel with a mistake, so he won't score that well either, unless there are big mistakes. We don't know how consistent this identity is for the players. It looks very, very difficult to get right. So let's have a look for the first identity. How many positions can Pack maybe catch up? Oh, Pack crashes. I saw Scrappy, I think, crashing as well. Oh my god, this identity is so weird. Ouch. Pack now coming through. But is this as last map? I mean, holy shit, and Scrappy's 38 points are in big danger, but I mean, others will probably also struggle with this. So maybe we have big differences in the end, but for now it looks really bad for Scrappy. And if Ryulu keeps his points, he only needs to outscore Scrappy by over 5 points, and Ryulu will overtake him in the standings and is maybe getting out of the top 4. But there's of course also Papu as an opponent.
Yeah, I mean, though those things can of course happen here, and I mean, Riolu currently on 7th position, of course his mentality is a bit struck down, but yeah, everything can happen. You named it here, and currently Massa also looks very, very good on this map, but let's approach the identity again, as it's a very tight jump there between the trees in that slow-mo block that players have to do, and it's still only 1 second between 1st and 9th position, Marius.
Yeah, now actually, I think everyone made it. So the first players had a very consistent approach for it, but of course, the longer this race goes, the bigger the pressure is, the more shaky the hands are, and in precision parts, that's really bad if you have shaky hands. So everything can still happen, as we said multiple times. Gwen with 43 points currently in the red positions. Bren with 48 points within the red positions. It's incredible who would win the step currently. It would be Kappa or Carl Jr. Carl Jr. at the moment. Again, like Carl Jr. is so consistent, it's incredible. But yeah, Pack is definitely out of it. 10 seconds behind, can go for the fastest lap. These 2 extra points can also be decisive in the end for the top 8. But not if Pack now can just go for it at the back of the field. Bren comes through, but everyone else as well. It looks really grim again for Bren.
Yeah, it looks really grim for Bren and also for Scrappy. Currently the winner of this one is Kappa here, and also Papu getting a lot of points, but also,
I mean, Scrappy can lose it all here. Evon also minus 24 about to happen. Gwen minus 43. Bren minus 48. So there are a lot of points on stake. And yeah, I mean, Scrappy 10 seconds behind, Pack 9 seconds behind. You hate to see that. I just have to say that. And currently Massa, Dennis Lotze is leading the race here. Look at that. What a great performance. 0.2 ahead. And this could be enough for him to make it into the playoffs. Spam, however, is not certainly safe. But of course, since some people losing their points by the name of Gwen, Gwen could not make it into the playoffs here, of course. But mistakes can happen here as we approach this identity. There's someone who died. There 2 people died. Massa with the mistake. And Massa is so far behind. And this is the shaky hand that was Marius talking about. So this could be the GG here for Massa, because Spam, who was tied with Massa beforehand, is ahead of him.
Yeah, but Massa is still with a chance here to get into the green positions back, but of course he will not score nicely. Only 1 point from the previous map that he has accumulated. Gwen now with a chance to keep his points. It is so crucial. I mean, this is deciding everything here. And Spam does have a decent step. He will keep his points.
Oh.
I mean, if both Spam and Gwen would lose their points, it's still only a 2 points difference between them. So that would still mean that Spam can overtake him, even if both of them lose the points. But if Spam keeps them and Gwen loses them just slightly, it's definitely over for Gwen. So now the next time identity, it is the pre-last time Gwen comes through and Kappa makes the mistake.
No.
And this was the big winner, Kappa, and he's now down.
No, Kappa, you hate to see that. Kappa has to push it here. Kappa is down to P11 with that. Minus 39 points. And this is good for players. But of course, so bad for Kappa. He's at 39 points. You hate to see that. Map 6, lap 6, and step number 6 is always something different. We see Carl Jr., who will certainly win this step. And Gwen also qualifying himself. Only one more identity, of course, to go. Massa and Muda are at 9 and 10, but they haven't really accumulated a lot of points. Spam also will get himself some points, but so we're gonna see everything. I cannot do all the maths here correctly, so we're gonna see it afterwards. It will be between them here. Can Kappa still make it? Of course, it is not good, but now one more identity will decide it all. Actually, here, does someone make a mistake? No, everyone seems to survive it. No, Bren! No, Bren! Minus 48 points in the last identity, and Muda will take it here. Muda will snipe that away. Massa will also lose 1 point. Bren minus 48. Scrappy minus 38. Tween minus 24. And Evon minus 24 as well. So many points have been lost. And of course, the biggest loser here, Kappa and Bren. And let's take a look onto the ranking. Now we're gonna roll it here. Who's gonna qualify to the playoff? It is Papu. Papu qualifying. Bren with 80. What is happening? What the actual hell is happening? I cannot believe it.
Did really Papu make it?
Yes.
Like, I wanna really be sure.
I cannot believe it. Spam and
Massa again dropping out in the last race, dropping out of the top 8, like last season. Kappa had the chance, would have been in. Tween had the chance, would have been in if he kept his points. Ryulu overtakes Scrappy, but Papu had this great step that Ryulu is still in the bottom 4. Scrappy, of course, also could have been out of the top 4 if he kept his points. And yeah, Bren and Massa, they both lost their points. They were, before the step started, on 6th and 7th. 7 points between them. They scored both now the same amount of points this step. And now there are actually 2 players in between them. And Bren is safely in as 7th with 89 points. And Massa on 10th with 82. And this is how close it was. I thought that Spam actually made it here.
Yeah.
But no, he is actually not in because Papu sniped him from the...
How many points did Papu have, by the way? I didn't really see that, but this was such a messy step. And guys, I can just say that, and I can speak for, I think, almost everyone. I'm happy that this system will get changed. I'm happy with that.
I mean, Papu had to win. He had only, I think, 20-something points.
Yeah.
I mean, I can count it. He had 66 points before the last race, so he had 29 points. It was not looking really good. But because he scored the win and the fastest lap, but he didn't even need the fastest lap in the end, But this victory, these 20 points, make it completely different. Suddenly, his step looks decent.
But also
And,
Gwen moving up to P4 because of the mistakes from Massa. I mean, Massa had it. He wasn't first. He just had to save it, and he would have been in the top 5. And with that overtake, yeah, I think even got for that 7th position. So, yeah, I mean, what a step. I don't know, man. It's messy, and I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah, and Ryulu lost his points once, and he had very good points beforehand, and I'm not sure where did he place in the last map. But,
yeah, he actually got a good position there.
Yeah, I think so. He also could have had really good points. I mean, he could have caught up because he was having the same amount of points than Papu. And Papu went into the top 8, and Ryulu was ahead of Papu at some point in this match.
Wow,
so,
that's crazy.
So even Ryulu actually could have made it. Yeah, can you believe it? He had only 37 points before and had a gap of 38 points to 8th place. So he needed more points than he ever got in all the steps before. But it was possible today.
Yeah, again, it was possible. I mean, Ryulu is the person that I think on every, he lost his points on map or on map 5 and 6 all the time. So just unfortunate to see that, but that's how things are. And yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna have an interview here with Pack. Let me go ahead and call him. So I'm gonna open up a new conversation, Marius.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Pack is gonna accept or not, but I hope so. So we can have a nice talk with Pack, who, I mean, fortunately won one map, which is cool to see. But, yeah. I'm not sure if Pack is there or not.
Overall, I see that the 8th place has less points than in the last season. Also 7th place. Last season you had to have over 100. But then, however, 3rd place is much worse than last season, where 3rd place was up to 170 something, and now only with 128. But then, however, 1st place Carl Jr., I mean, last season already Gwen had a really sick score in the end, because Gwen had these 6 last steps and was getting like 270 something points. And now Carl Jr. 369. I mean, can you believe it? Over 6 steps to keep your points like that and score 369 points. I mean, even if there would not be any point loss, just getting that many points with this point system where only 1st and 2nd, so it gets good points. And he was finishing top 2 in every single step. I mean, this guy is just something else. This is incredible.
Yeah, indeed, he is incredible, and I mean, he just shows that he has understood the system. As I have the score here on the way, so Carl Jr. wins it here, 369 points. Just take this into consideration, the average that Carl Jr. has gotten. It's an average of 60 points per step. That is, I don't know, man, this guy is absolutely crazy. And then Pack, of course, the 2nd. It had been decided on that 5th map where Pack lost his points. But then it got so close there between Aurel and Gwen as well. Aurel almost has lost that 3rd position. Also, Bran was so close there. He was in 3rd, actually. But it's such a back and forth, and I just hope that this system will be better in the next season, Marius. That's
definitely.
Everything I can say about that. So, yeah, I mean...
60 points average by Carl Jr. If you name that, it really sounds crazy. And I mean, all these people that were just fighting to get into the top 8, they wanted to have one step like that, one single step like that, and they would have been in.
Yeah.
And Carl Jr. does it all the time, in all steps.
True that.
This just, I mean, all these players are big names, and you know how difficult it is if you play against them to beat them, because they are all really good. And then comes Carl Jr. and just outclasses the field like that. This is just really incredible and outstanding.
Yeah, Carl Jr. maybe even the greatest of all time. Gwen was struggling a little bit, but he was busy and had a lot of good steps in the last half of the Trackmania Grand League season. Of course, was also struggling from a lot of point loss, as well as Pack. I mean,
Pack could have gotten first easily here, and just bear in mind, Pack was even better than Carl Jr. in average. I think he has scored the most amount of points, and maybe not after this step. I'm not sure about that, but still a second place is good. But then Spam, Massa, Kappa, Tween as well, and all the other 4 remaining players, Riolo, Scrappy, Avon, Link, who have to fight for or against the OGA players, still have a chance for the playoffs, because there will be the last chance where players out of the bottom 8 can still qualify to the actual playoffs, Marius.
Yeah, and I also just count the world ranking, because for the World Cup, 8 players will directly qualify. So, and this was another thing we had to calculate a little bit. For the World Cup, 4 players maximum can qualify due to reaching the final 2 phases in the playoffs of the TMGL Fall 2020 and the TMGL Winter 2021. So in the TMGL Fall 2020, in the final 2, we have seen Carl Jr. and Gwen. So they are both qualified for the World Cup already. Then the final 2 players of this season now will also qualify. Of course, it could happen that it's again Carl Jr. and Gwen. In that case, we will just fill out the players until we have 8. And we will basically see the ranking from both seasons combined, if you sum up the points from both seasons. And I did that a little bit and had a look. Like, Pack, of course, is safely in. He's qualified. He got good points in the first season and now again. So then also Aurel, he was not scoring decent now in this last step, but he will also be safely in. Same goes for Afi. So these 3 are safe, but the question was what happens behind. And I can say that Papu, with his good step right now, definitely overtook Spam and Massa, because it was in the combined standing very close between them. And Papu is then definitely the 4th one. So 4 players, I am definitely sure the top 4 in, outside of Carl Jr. and Gwen are definitely qualifying for the World Cup. And that will be Pack, Aurel, Afi, and Papu. So, and then there are 2 more that are either players that go through the final 2, or that are then the next players regarding the points. It depends a bit if Mata, for example, reaches the final 2. For Mata, this is the only chance, unless otherwise he has to qualify through the open qualification.
Yeah, true.
But Mata and Bren as well, if they reach the final 2, they could qualify like that. If they don't reach that, and it's somewhere else, then of course the next players would have a chance to make it. And that would be actually Spam and Massa, because Kappa has lost his points. If Kappa kept his points, he would have overtaken them in the combined result as well. So that is how close it was. Also, Tween had still a chance. He was sitting behind Kappa also in the combined result. So yeah, this is how close it has been in many regards.
Yeah, very, very close. And I mean, messy at the same time. But we have the combine in 2 weeks' time. And Riolo, Scrappy, Avon, and Link are in that. And I think that Avon and Scrappy will perform very good. Riolo as well, but I mean, two of those players definitely have to go down, right, Marius? If I recall it correctly.
Hello?
Yo,
hello, Pack.
Hello.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait.
Your audio's a bit weird.
Oh, hang on. I turned off my laptop. 1 second.
Torpo, for your question, you said the 2 players will definitely go down. I'm not so sure anymore, because there was this rule change, but I'm not sure if it applies to this season. That actually the bottom 2 TMGL players still play against the top OGL players in 1 extra match, but I'm not sure if that's already now.
Yeah, I have no idea either about that, but yeah, I guess we have to check the rulebook, and then you guys know more about that just before it all starts. I mean, we have to see the schedule. I think I'm just gonna open up the rulebook now, and we can look onto that, Marius. Okay, that's the wrong rulebook. Trackmania Grand League. Okay. Trackmania Grand League. Boop.
Is this better?
Not really.
Wait, this is my actual headset.
Yeah, now it's better. Okay, it was a bit,
Okay.
it was a bit weird at the first time you talked, so now it's better. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wicked,
Sorry,
wicked.
man.
No worries, no worries.
Okay, so how do you feel after map number 5 being a disaster kind of, but not
I
only for
don't-
you, but for a
Did
lot
you
of people?
see how I crashed? Or not?
Well, what was
you-
the crash again? Riola was
So basically,
flipping.
I was flying, and then for some reason I was in the middle, which I thought was
Mhm.
fine, but my car somehow got I bounced, but then I landed with not the second bounce.
Yeah.
So I literally got no air, and my car just turned straight left because I didn't expect to not bounce. So I turned straight left, straight into the wall. I couldn't save it. So that was that really. That was the end of that one. As soon as I crashed, I knew that there's no coming back. So the
Yeah.
other crashes were it didn't matter any in the end. But
I think
I didn't do anything.
I think we haven't seen it because of the camera that is pretty bad there in this case, because you
That's
have this
annoying.
this other camera. So next time, I mean, I was also changing that, but we have seen so many mistakes there by all the people, and I mean, you said it, once you make
I
a
felt
mistake
so
there.
comfortable. I was coasting in whatever 6th place, and then suddenly like the car just didn't bounce the second time, which in training, in the times that I've been playing the track, there was always a second bounce, and for some reason this time my car nosedived and turned straight left. I couldn't do anything. It was just so random. And then map 6, basically I changed to the new cam 3, but I completely forgot, and in the warm-up I didn't get to the identity, and then in the actual match when I first got to the identity I changed to cam 3, and to my surprise I was in the old cam 3 with no car, so I had no idea where my perception was, and I just full on crashed. I couldn't see, and then I played the rest of the map in cam 2 because I couldn't change, and I didn't crash after that, but the issue was the first initial surprise that I was not in cam 3 that I wanted to be in. Otherwise I would have made top 8. It wasn't an issue that track. I had the pace, I had everything, but I just had no knowledge that I was actually in that cam 3, which was
That's
shit.
unfortunate, actually. I mean, it's unfortunate that you have like this, like that you were used to that other camera, but I know exactly what you feel like. This old cam 3 is so much better for me compared to the new one, but of course for some parts,
Same. I love it in
can go
loops,
better,
I love it in wall rides, like everything, but I couldn't see a thing in that one. It's just a nightmare.
I mean, in general, map number 6 was very messy. We have seen Kappa losing playoffs because of that. We've seen Papu making it. We have seen Massa throwing it away. Spam also losing points, and also Scrappy losing his points. Dude, that was a disaster. That was so terrible to watch, really. It's not like a good experience when people lose points. It's just terrible to see that someone's points will just like get crushed out, and I don't know, man. I'm just happy that the system will change. I just have to say that.
Yeah, no, it's good that it will change. It sucks to see Spam and Massa not make it.
Yeah, also
just by
Kappa.
such a small margin, and Kappa, yeah. But like,
Yeah, I just have a look at the step ranking because we directly went to the league ranking, and I see that the 4th place in the step only has 18 points. If we remember that after the second map, like 13 drivers had already 2 digits of points, and now in the end 4th place has only 18, and this is exactly why Papu was able to make this comeback, because everyone had low points. Either they lost it on the last map, or they kept their points on the last map, but had only very few points before. For example, Spam, who only had 3 points. And then, who is of course in the top 8 on map 6? Afi and Orel.
yeah, standard then too.
Yeah. I mean,
not last week, but this time they made it again, and they of course took away the positions for others that would have needed the points, kinda.
I mean, with that in mind, we have the Combine that will come up, and I just checked the rulebook. Correct me if I'm wrong, Peg, actually, but the head-to-head is still TMGL regular season versus TMGL regular season. So the 13th player will play against the 16th, and the 14th will play against the 15th for one spot.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, so Riolu plays versus Link and Scrappy plays versus Avon. And then, of course, we have the other head-to-head, which are OGL from the Super Final. And the Super Final and the other OGL Final is on the 13th of March. Yeah.
Oh, they're not there. They're the day before the TMGL finals, aren't they?
Wait, is it? Are the TMGL Finals already in the 14th?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, Open Grand League Final and Super Final is on the 13th. And then Trackmania Grand League Final is on the 14th. And, oh my god.
Yeah, because also the TMGL final chance is also on the 13th. So I can't. I don't think OGL is that week. Surely not.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe they have to change that. But, I mean, there's a lot of things scheduled. Let me actually check here in the rubric. Let me search for final chance. Final chance here. There we go. It's actually, they say it's on the 13th as well. That's weird. 13th at 7. And then the... Oh my god, that's so messy here. That's so much. You feel overwhelmed if you don't know what to search here, actually. But, yeah, I mean, with that in mind, we have to say goodbye to either Riolu or Link or Scrappy or Avon. And thinking about Scrappy and Avon, like...
That's a close one.
Yeah, that's a really close
very
one.
Tight one. Yeah, I'm happy to come second this season. I'm happy to have the space in between it all. God, this step was just a nice one to coast around and not really. I tried to get first on the first four. I failed reversing. I didn't feel comfortable on the tech turn before I crashed it, and then after I crashed things. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was nice to just chill this step and not really have any.
So yeah, I mean, but it feels like a bit that you were like, okay, I got second, let's just deal with it on the last map, and you had nothing to lose. I mean, you were not pressurized at all, I would assume.
No, I wasn't even trying to get first. I was already 40 points behind Carl. I'd have to get 100 point step to beat him. I mean, he doesn't lose his points, whatever, but like, it's just how it is. So I wasn't really expecting anything. He deserved first this season because of how consistent he played. So.
Well, at least you won a map. That's cool. That's really cool. With a nice overtake on Afi, who had a good comeback there.
Yeah,
exactly. Very nice.
I mean, the plan for me is to win playoffs. I want to win playoffs. That's the thing that matters.
Dude, it was so close in Season 2, and no one really thought that. It was Papu, you, Carl Jr., and Gwen, and then was Papu overtaking you on that last part, and you were in finalist. You remember?
Yeah.
Oh, on half pipe. Oh my.
I don't need to forget it, do I? I can't forget it. It's impossible to forget that.
Yeah.
And then Gwen also did the same because I failed.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But yeah, I just checked here the head-to-head. So it's at 5 and 6 is the Open Grand League Final and Super Final. And then we have the last chance, the TMGL last chance for the 2 players who qualify at 7 p.m. So no cup of the day for them. And then on the 14th, there's already the final. So, oh my god, man, the schedule is too much, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's what they want, I guess.
someone in the chat, 100 euro easy KFC diet for a week and P1 for playoffs. Oh man. Or
I think I've won the same amount as Carl now. Was I not? No, I've won less. He's won 4 maps, hasn't he? So he's got 2, 8, and I've got 7.
Ah, yeah. But you won 12 maps, 13 maps?
13.
Oh my god, that's absolutely incredible. Wow, that is a sick performance though. I mean, still deserved for Carl Jr. because if he made a mistake, he was coming back. That's the thing. He was always in the 7th and 8th position. But,
yeah, and his mistakes were so minimal. Whereas, well, the one today I couldn't do anything about. Whatever.
Yeah. Your car didn't turn. Your camera was wrong.
Well, yeah, that one. I mean, I literally had no chance of surviving at all. But I can accept that one. But the other one was just really unfortunate. I mean, the car dipped. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It never happened. Oh well.
But
we move on. The main thing's the finals. As long as I don't choke that, which is okay. I mean, have they? Hang on. Have they? can't say anything. Oh well.
Wait, I'm gonna end stream very quick, then you can say something.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I mean, do you have any more questions, Marius? Because I would just end it here, actually. I mean, looking forward to playoffs that are in 2 weeks, apparently. I didn't know that.
I start training after my exams on the 9th of March. So
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't train, I'm not training at all this week or next week.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
this week. Yeah, this week coming.
You're cruising again, so that's fine.
Well, not cruising. I have exams and they're really important and hard.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I mean, it was a joke, but you can make it, man.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers, man. I hope so.
All right.
Right, I also have no questions. Let's upload it to YouTube.
All right. So thanks, Peck, again for playing, and it was the 3rd season. And from season to season, you kind of become better. The first season was a little bit, yeah, you had a lot of stress there. The second season was very nice, and now this one, I mean, you are playing out of your mind. Even though this step wasn't that good, but I mean, 2nd position, very nice. And I hope that I'm gonna see you in season 4 again, man. So thanks again for joining in.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, goodbye.
See ya.
See you guys.
And also thanks for you, Marius, for joining in here as well. I mean, it was a pleasure. I'm casting with you for 5 steps. It was very cool, and hopefully we can cast something together, like the Combine or stuff like that. But thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you around. Goodbye.
Bye.